Hi, this is Clayton from Total Surfing Fitness. In this video we're going to show you the stretch sequence from the Total Surfing Fitness program. So let's get into it.
Alright, we're going to go into down dog stretch now. So pushing up, heels trying to push into the floor, upper back pushing back, and you want to try and hold it there for around 20 seconds before moving into the next exercise. So try and keep that tension up, keep trying to push the chest through. Now we're going to move into a hip flexor stretch. So one foot goes out the front, squeeze the glute at the back, and keeping the stomach pulled in. It's got the arms extended straight up overhead, and it's going to hold that for about 20 seconds. Being careful not to release the tension on the glutes or the abs. Swapping over the legs. Same thing again. You notice before he starts, he tightens the glutes up and then slightly leans forward from there. Alright, he's going to push himself back now and pull his foot up towards his butt, stretching out his quads. Now, some people might find that this is really tight and they can't get their foot up quite so far. That's fine. You go as far as you can, otherwise revert back to a basic quad stretch. Swapping over to the other leg. Same thing, pulling the foot up nice and tight towards the butt. Notice the chest and head are still up nice and tall, and holding that tight. Now if you find that your knees are quite sore underneath, when you do this exercise, have a mat on the floor or even have a towel doubled or tripled up stuck underneath your knee just to look after your knees. From there, he's going to go into a glute stretch, laying down over the front leg. Now this can be an awkward position to get into, and I don't expect anyone to be lying flat like Clayton is. They may be up on their hands. So if you just push up onto your hands now, Clayton, a lot of people will just start in this position, and as they get more flexible through that area, be able to progress all the way down to the floor. Now swapping over to the other side. And once again, just gradually easing into it. Remember to breathe as you stretch. Nice deep breaths help to relax the muscles, get the blood flowing freely, and just enables you to get that last little bit out of the stretch. Alright, from there, Clayton's going to push up into a calf stretch. So, crossing one foot over the other one, and he's now pushing his heel into the floor. Now, if he finds that's too easy, what he can do is push his shoulders forward, and that's now going to increase the tension on the back leg. You'll notice his heel's just lifted slightly, and that is just enabling a much tougher calf stretch. Swapping over to the other foot and repeating the same thing. Another option with this one is to push up onto the ball of your toe and then push the heel back into the floor, and do that holding it 2 or 3 seconds down the bottom, and keep repeating that for the desired length of time. Alright, from there Clayton's going to go back onto his knees and stretching out the lats using a fit ball. So the fit ball's just sitting out just in front of him, arm outstretched, almost straight upwards from his regular posture, and just relaxing into that. Notice that his head hasn't dropped, he's still in good posture. Good, and swapping over to the other side. Now if you watch carefully, as Clayton breathes and relaxes into it, he's actually moving slightly lower in the stretch. So his lats are loosening up, nice and gentle. Good, okay, pushing up onto your knees and swapping over the other arm. He's now going to go into a chest stretch using the ball. So with his upper arm 90 degrees to the ball, and his other hand for support on the ground. He's just dropping that right shoulder down towards the ground, and a very nice stretch with the ball. Now once again, head isn't dropped, it's a nice good position, and swap over to the other side. Good, okay, and now he's going to extend up onto a lunge position with one arm tucked inside the leg and the other one rotated outwards. Now this is a very tough stretch. If you find that you can't get into this position and hold it easily, move your left arm to the outside of the knee, and that'll enable you to have a better base of support. Now it's not quite as good a stretch, but it is going to emphasize the same muscles and get you started into that sort of a position. Swapping over to the other side now. And extending up, pushing that hand back as far as you can. So in this position, the hip flexors are on stretch, the lats are on stretch, the chest is on stretch. Most of the muscles in his body have to be, are getting stretched while they are in that position. Alright, dropping down onto your knees again and facing the wall. It's going to go into a tricep stretch. So extending one elbow upwards and then pulling that to the other side of his body. Now if he wants to emphasize a slightly greater stretch, you can actually lean just slightly over to one side. And repeat over on the other side. Once again, staying up nice and tall and pulling the elbow to the other side. He's now got a slight lean on, emphasising that extra stretch. Now you may feel this through your lats, and that's quite normal. Okay, Clayton is going to turn around and face me now, and pulling one arm across the body for a shoulder stretch. Now once again, you'll notice that he's nice and tall, stomach is not sticking out, head's up nice and tall, and everything is done in good posture, nice deep breathing, and really emphasising that stretch through the rear shoulder. Swapping over the other arm, and once again, staying up nice and tall. Beautiful. Okay, now what he's going to do, drop the arms, extend one foot out to the side, reaching up high and leaning over. This is another stretch that is hitting very many muscles at the one time. So specifically through the lats and down the sides. Keep stretching up nice and tall, and obviously you can see his head is looking towards the camera. And swapping over to the other side, reaching up. It actually looks like Clayton's got a little bit more flexibility over this side. This is not uncommon. Quite often we have one side of the body that is slightly more flexible than the other. So if that is you, you're quite normal. Okay, he's going to go onto his back now and go into another glute stretch. This is a figure 4 stretch where one leg is crossed over the other one, and then he's going to pull through that gap on the right leg, and the stretch is going to be on his left leg. So all the way from the glutes, going to feel that very deep, running all the way from the hips up to the back of the knee. Once again, you'll notice that his head is resting on the floor in good posture and still breathing nice and deep. Swapping over to the other side, pulling through the hole and just gently easing into the stretch. Nice deep breaths. Good. I'm going to get Clayton to grab a towel now, and we're going to do a 3-position hamstring stretch. So first of all, just grab the towel, pushing the foot all the way up the top, and bottom leg is straight ahead. Now, he's going to slowly pull that towards him. Keep breathing as he does it. You'll notice that his knee is not completely locked out, and that is fine. Good. Relax the leg slightly, and then I'm going to get you to pull over towards the camera. So once again, the leg is pulled across, nice and gentle, and the stretch is emphasized all the way through the hips. Hamstrings are still on quite a tight stretch, and you'll notice his foot is dropping slowly. Good. Pulling that back up to the middle now, and we're going to go to the opposite side of the body, nice and easy. You'll notice that his right arm is on the ground for support. His right leg is still straight out in front of him, and the stretch is done. Pull that back up to the middle, swapping over to the other leg. So, starting out straight and pulling in nice and gentle. You notice that the longer he does the stretch, the more range of movement that he's getting. Good. Relax the leg slightly and pull over to the other side of the body. Keep breathing into it. Nice and gentle. Foot still dropping ever so slightly. Good. Now pulling it back up to the middle. Swapping over and pulling it towards the camera. Now you notice his hip just clicked. Quite normal. You're probably going to find you've got some clicks and clunks of your own. So the more of this stretching that goes on, probably the better it's going to be for you. And pulling that foot back up to the middle and release.